Good morning, dear friends. You and I are invited to a new day, to a new beginning, to inner balance. And we have the great opportunity of recharging ourselves in the waters of the Christ. Emmanuel, in the book Vineyard, chapter 101, brings to us, have you listened to the Christ? He quotes Jesus as written, John chapter 16, verse 1, when Jesus said, all this I have told you so that you will not fall away. Emmanuel explains, before returning to the resplendent spheres, the Divine Master did not abandon us. Regarding the warnings of the work to be done, when the mature spirit, in the understanding of the redeeming works, surrender him or herself to the field of the service in the gospel, they cannot forget the previous informations of the Lord. It's indispensable to listen to them so they don't fall away in the works of common obligations. The word of the Master clarified that while ignorance in the world still dominates, the legitimate harvesters of the principles of spiritual renewal brought by Jesus would not be observed with sympathy. They would be persecuted relentlessly by the forces of shadow, or the shadowy forces, right? They would come to the condemning tribunals, courts, to be aware of the false accusations of those who were incapacitated of full understanding. The legitimate harvesters of the gospel would withstand the troubles of the family who do not understand and do not have inner illumination. They would suffer the expulsion of organized temples by the pragmatics of literal facts. They would listen to the words of gratuitous intelligences devoted to sarcasm regarding divine truths. The true and legitimate harvesters of the gospel would live like pacified sheep amongst disturbed wolves. They would sustain incessant war against evil. They would fall in the traps of the world. They would contemplate the growth of good and evil at the same time. They would carry with them the marks of the cross. They would experiment the misunderstanding of many, would feel solitude in the gravest hours, and they would see very closely slander, stoning, ingratitude. Thus, the Divine Master did not let the companions and the followers without warnings. This wasn't offering to any apprentice on earth the crown of roses without thorns. He didn't promise edifying struggle, educating work, rectifying situations, illuminating opportunities, but with the greatness of sacrifice that produces elevation and the spirit of service that establishes light and peace. Thus, it is important for all to mature their reasoning on earth to know the vivid warnings of the Christ regarding the good news. So do they not fall away in the difficult testimonies of individual pain. I know it's a lot of words, I know, but we can not simplistically simplify it, but we will just sum it up. For those who are anywhere in this world, acknowledging the Christ consciousness, but still aiming at ego centered achievements, they will. If anyone tells you, take care of yourself above the care of others, this person is telling you wrong. We can only take care of ourselves to the extent that we're ready to help others. When we pass that limit, we're indulging in the actually the vice of vanity, of self-centeredness. That's what he's saying. He's not telling us, feel like a victim, the world is going to come after you. No, he's saying, it is natural. Let's listen to this. It is expected and natural that people will not understand us when we choose immortal goals versus material goals. How come you are not investing? How come you are not saving for your retirement? How come? Should we do it? Yes, but at the expense of others? No. As Chiara Lubick, a wonderful, wonderful Catholic nun, who created a movement of new men and women on earth. She said, ideally, we give a third, we keep a third to us and two-thirds to helping society. She's right. I personally, many, many years ago, more than 20 years ago, I visited a city that, though she's Italian, she created the first city for new men and women in Brazil, in the city of Cutia, São Paulo. It's a whole city that she created. All the businesses take two-thirds to these proposals and keep a third of the profit to themselves. So, dear friends, you and I, it's not about the material things. We're just giving an example of how we should focus on our immortal goals. Here, Emmanuel is saying, Jesus said if we follow him, we're going to be misunderstood. People are going to talk bad about us, etc., etc. Who cares? We are happy because we're fulfilling what we need to do. That's what matters. I cannot allow the peer pressure of the world to win over me. I need to be stronger in my connection with Christ. Let's meditate on this and pray together. Thank you, dear Lord of life, for the gift of this day, for the loving and caring spirits who are here with us, for the loving and kind energies that are showered upon us. We visualize the spirit doctors, nurses, and therapists visiting all of us and applying onto us renewing energies, protection, and enveloping loved ones, neighbors, friends, colleagues at work, everybody in our community. See the people who have their names in the book of prayer being kindly approached by the spirit doctors, encouraging them in the beginning, offering them remedies. It's healing time. We feel your loving embrace, dear Lord, and we thank you for this moment, today and always. What a joy to receive these instructions. We're stronger today than yesterday. We wish you a lovely day and we thank you for being here with us. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone, live and on demand, for joining forces in this circle of prayer. The world needs more prayer, more illumination, and you are helping them in that regard. We wish you a lovely day and night. Of course, an afternoon too, a good afternoon too, wherever we are. Thank you, dear Daisy. Super indeed. A big hug, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Cardiac Radio, where you know we're always nourishing our souls.